So, yeah, we have few more people. Ankita has joined and Rupashri. Would you also quickly introduce yourself? If you can come on video, at least we get a visual connect.
Yeah, hi. I'm here for my son, as I was mentioning.
Sure.
He's an adolescent, 14 years old. He has ADHD
Mm-hmm.
from very early age. So he's attention deficit and hyperactive.
Okay.
And
That sounds like me. Okay.
hyperactive, most of the boys are, I believe.
I don't know about that. Okay. Sure, sure. And which city you are
Bangalore,
from?
Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ankita, you want to say hi to the group?
Yeah. Hi, this is Ankita. I'm a mother of two sons. One is 6 years old and one is 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah,
And which city are you from?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. And what are you looking for, Ankita? What
Actually,
brings
my
you
kids
here?
are very much hyperactive and they won't listen to me. They don't like studying. They always want to play, play, play. They are very naughty.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. It sounds like me. When I was that age, my mom will certify it, though she's not around to do that. Okay. Okay, super. I think we have a nice, sweet group here. So what I'll do is I will do a quick, small kind of a presentation I have, and I'll walk you through that. And so just to give you an overall idea of what is what can be child-based education. And the way I will do it is obviously talk about how we do it at Aarohi, so you get an idea about it. Not that if you are doing it at home, not that you have to do it exactly like that. You can do however you want to, but it just gives you an idea of what it can be. And also, obviously, if you are interested in being part of the Aarohi community in different ways, I'll talk about the options towards the end. Yeah. Okay, so before I start, let me do a quick introduction myself. I'm Ratnesh, and me and my wife Aditi, kind of started working with, or rather, being with children is actually a more appropriate word, because we aren't educators in the sense of having degrees or whatever. We had no idea of how to work with children or what learning is. At that time, when we started our journey, 1998, our daughter was just born, so she was possibly 6, 8 months. So we had no idea about what is children, what is learning, what is education. So we started working with children, and in the first few years, what hit us hard was that. Uh, what the children was telling us. Now, the children were not telling us the things the world was telling us. The world was talking about all the conventional way of looking at education, but the children were telling us exactly what Ankita, your kids are telling us, and Rupashri, your child is telling. They were telling exactly the same thing, that let us learn the way we want to learn, what we want to learn, what we want to do, and what we want to do is far more valuable to us than what the world want us to do. So this was and it was not one child who was saying it. It was like thousands. In the first 4 5 years, we would have worked with 4 5 thousand children, and all of them of all ages, right from 2 years to 16 17 18 years, were saying the same thing. And by now, it's been what, more than 26 years, and we would have worked with what, 16, 18,000 children. And I think all of them, without an exception, are saying the same thing. So, so what we understood was, hey, children essentially like doing, learning, exploring things that are meaningful to them, and each one is different. So, what would be meaningful to one would not necessarily be meaningful to another. So, yes, one way of looking at education system is to go by what a standardized curriculum, but another way could be how we can personalize something for each child. So that made us start Aarohi. Uh, we started Aarohi in 2008. initially with our daughter, you can say, and soon 7 families joined us, and that's since 2008. It's been a beautiful journey. Okay, so just to complete my introduction, my 2 children, my daughter is 26 now. She is no 10th, 12th, no college, no degrees, no certificate, no schooling. She's a professional in her life, married now, doing whatever she likes doing. My son is 20. He's also kind of gone out of Aarohi. He's also now a professional in his field. Never gone to school, no 10th, no 12th, no college, no degree, no certificate. So these are 2 of my children. But we have had so many other children. Both some children have gone back into the college kind of a thing because the parents wanted it that way, or the child wanted it that way. And many children have continued their journey and have become whatever they wanted to become in their life, or whatever they want to do. Rather, becoming is, let's leave that word aside. Just wanting to do what they want to do professionally, non-professionally, however. Right. So that's like a quick, brief introduction. So what I can share with you quickly now through this presentation is what we do here at Aarohi, and maybe a couple of stories of parents. So you get a decent idea of what is happening. And as I was sharing, you can either do the same thing at your home, or and we can support you for that, or you may not need the support. That's also okay. Or you can be part of ROE. So both the options, or multiple options, are there. Okay. So let me start by uh, uh, so I want to once again underline that we don't think that the curriculum-based education, which is the schools and the colleges, there's anything wrong with that. We said that's fine. That's an amazing system. Some people do great in that, and absolutely fine with that. Whoever thrives in that, whoever likes it. Some parents prefer it, but some parents are looking for, no. Let's look at some other way of growing up rather than the same standardized way of looking at it. In the same way, some children also thrive in the conventional education system, and that's absolutely fine. But a whole lot of children do not thrive. And to say that then they are lesser than the others, or they are the hyperactives, or they are the attention deficit, to me is a crime. Right? As I was saying when you shared about your child being ADHD, I said you are talking about me. I am very, very, very sure if this term ADHD has been around when I was a kid, I would have definitely been labeled that. I'm still very hyperactive. I'm still very distracted person. Um, Ask my wife, she can vouch for that, and even my children. But I think that just does not matter. That's just a measure of, as opposed to a standardized way. Whoever can sit in the class is supposed to be normal. Whoever can't sit still in the class is supposed to be not normal. Now, that's extremely unfair. And that's why we say, hey, for the sake of our child, do we want to be the side of the education system, or do we want to be on the side of our child? So, Sobita, when you say I do not have the courage, I would say it isn't about whether you have the courage or not. It's about your child. What does the child need? That's the question I think we need to ask. If the child is doing good in the conventional, liking it, you are enjoying it, no problem. But if either the child is not liking, or you are not liking, or both of you are not liking it, then why do we need to necessarily subscribe to it? There are options, and let's look at what can be offered to the child. Uh, so our whole idea was, hey, can we do something which kind of fits the child, which kind of build around the child? So I'll get into the details in just a little while, but before that, just a couple of quick videos of 2 different kinds of parents. Uh, if you're okay, just a quick video. I hope in my screen sharing I've done okay. Let me share again. Sorry. Yeah. So let's just watch these 2 quick videos, and so that you get the idea of some stories from children who have gone through this journey or going through this journey.
There is no sound to this video.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Let me see what's the problem. I just need to share it again. Stop sharing and start sharing. Yeah, let's see if it works now. Wait.
He joined Aarohi in 2015. Tuisha was there for around 5 years, and then after that he did his 10th and 12th through NIOS, and now he's doing the BCA. He did his schooling, completed his 6th standard, and 7th standard we took him out and we got him in Aarohi. Reason being that he was very stressed out and there was a lot of pressure on him there. So we thought we wanted a place where he could be happy and he could explore his options, where he could find himself basically. I'm very thankful to Aarohi, which gave him a lot of exposure, basic life skills, and a lot of maturity to handle issues that even I've seen grown-ups struggle with.
I learned a lot in Aarohi. I learned about responsibilities of an adult. I learned how to develop skills, managing myself, and not being dependent on my parents. I learned how to explore my options. I learned how to study by myself. I learned how to do almost everything, and I learned how to control my emotions as well. I learned a lot of things from Aarohi, and one of them I can say that I have now most because of Aarohi is my confidence. My level of confidence before Aarohi was really terrible, but after joining it, I have become more of a confident person. I can speak my mind clearly without having to hold back or be scared or anxious about my own thoughts. So it's taking care of my physical, mental health, and it's been great.
Based on that, after Aarohi, he has taken up 10th and 12th of his own, did very well. Based on that, got the admission for graduation, his choice, whatever he wanted to. He is doing pretty well, and he is confident of achieving what he aimed.
So yeah, okay. So that was Twish, and although he seems to give a lot of credit to Aarohi, but I think in any other space which is child-based, which is focused on what he likes doing and giving him the responsibility of his life, he would have thrived. So the credit should go to him of taking the onus of himself and working through it. I'll talk more about how that works. So that was his journey, and he went back to the he's now in college, as you heard. Let's take another parent's view.
Why I wanted a space like Aarohi is end of the day, Rainahi, end of the life, we want to do something which is unique in us, we want to excel in that. So that makes a lot of sense rather than confining child's childhood into 5-6 subjects alone. Maybe 10-15 years back it made sense. What is she good at? What is her skills? So I want her to explore her skills, get into more awareness about herself, and I wanted these things to happen to my child, and that's the reason I chose a space like Aarohi.
I don't want to go to a school, sit there, do something, be instructed, and take away all the freedom that I have. In Aarohi, I can explore a lot of stuff. They suggest me a lot of stuff. I even try to deep dive in surfing. So that's what I like in Aarohi.
That was Prati and Prati's mom. Prati is still part of Aarohi. In fact, just today she went home. So the whole idea, as we are talking about what is child-based education, is to work with each child, because each child is unique. They have their own passions, strengths, whatever their interests and talents. As they grow, they develop that, and they want to explore those, right? So that's the whole idea. And as I keep saying, at Aarohi, this is what we do. We totally focus on these things, and it has to be individual to the child. But finally, any space, home or anywhere else, which helps the child discover and develop oneself, that's what is child-based. Not getting confined to what the world calls as curriculum, because that's too narrow a definition, especially in today's world, where literally anything you touch, you can be a professional in that field. It's not like that only those few, like 20 years back, only engineering doctor kind of thingies would take you into professions, right? So what happens in Aarohi, and as I keep saying, this can be done at home, this can be done anywhere else. So it's not that this is only possible at Aarohi, but we want to share what we do that gives you an idea of what a child-based education is. The first and the foremost, obviously, uh, is that we create a personalized learning plan. Rather, it's actually wrong to say we created. The child creates his or her personalized learning plan. Says this is what I want to explore, and obviously the parents add to it, and then we add to it. So it's like a teamwork, the whole team, and obviously also her peers will add to it. So it's not like the child is only deciding, but overall the child decides this is what I want to do today, this week, this month, this year. So it's a totally personalized plan. Just to give you an example, when Mehuli came here, she came because she was struggling with reading, writing, and that's not what schools approve of. If you're not good at reading, writing, you are really thumb down. So she came here kind of little tattered by the whole system. But when she came here, we said, okay, what would you like to do? And she said, I would like to, let's say, paint. And not just paint pictures, but paint large surfaces. So that's what she started off with. And now it's been more than a year, almost 1.5 years. And she's enjoying doing now lots of things, including interestingly reading and writing. So that's the interesting part. The second thing that we do is, once we know that this is what the child likes and this is what the child wants to do, we create a whole lot of explorations, projects, resources, resource people. So we connect the child to all of these things. And obviously, that's where we play a role. Again, just to take a quick example, this is Mishti. Mishti is now 13, or actually about to become 13. But when she was 9.5, she said that I like writing. So we said, okay, you like writing, so let's create something. So we created something called as Serious Writers of Aarohi Daily. The acronym is SWAD, right? And so some of us joined there, as in some adults, some children joined that group. And what this group will do is there would be a prompt every day, and every day we will write on that prompt. The interesting thing was, the prompt, whatever you write, you share it we have a closed community. So you can share from wherever. Mishti was in Mumbai at that time. She's still in Mumbai right now. So she would share from there. And the best part was that nobody will give any input, no feedback, no comments, not even a thumbs up or a thumbs down. The important thing was to write every single day. And Mishti has been doing that for now 3.5 years. Now that's a lot of writing, right? And she has really evolved as a writer, so much so you see the book in her hand. So out of the 365 writings in 2024, she has published a book this year. Right? So that's the kind of magic which children bring to things that they like doing. They put in the effort. So that's the second thing, connecting their interest to meaningful deep diving, as we call it. The third thing that we do is we also bring in a lot of real world experiences, which means traveling a lot, meeting a lot of people, doing a lot of things out in the world, participating in a lot of world things, also organizing a lot of different things. Again, one example, if I take every year, Aarohi's accounts is handled by a child. So Advay here, whose picture you see on the screen, was 10 years when he took up the accounting of 22-23 year, and he did the complete accounting for the year till the balance sheet is submitted to the chartered accountants. So and that's it. 1 year he did the accounts and then he moved on. It's not that he has to become an accountant in the life. The idea was to do something real, something which is You are handling the actual work of an organization and submitting it to the C. And every year there's a new accountant. So this is just one such example. Obviously, there are many more. We are all the time creating these kind of experiences where children work with the world outside. Just last week, two children said that we like business. We said, okay, how much do you want to earn in 1 week? They said 3,000. So for 1 week, they were daily going out into the town, somehow trying to earn 3,000. They had no idea what to do. They started from scratch. That's another story. They just could earn about 250, but I think possibly they earned far more in terms of the actual experience. But they were outgoing, talking to people, actual market, trying to figure out what the market needs that they can do so that they can earn. So simple things, but gets them out there into the world. The fourth thing that we do, which is very important according to us, is also focus a lot on self, right? Understand one's emotions, understands one's relationship, understand oneself as a leader not of the world, but of self. So a whole lot of our processes are there, which we do on a regular basis, which help children connect with themselves, their strengths, their styles, their emotions, their relationships, in a sense, their life, because that's the base for the life. We can keep on changing professions or jobs or whatever, but we don't change the self, in the sense we are still the same engine driving our life. Again, just to give you a quick example, we have something on a daily basis which we do. We call it hooray, nore, sore, where you give a hooray to somebody who did something nice to you or said something, or so you want to say hooray to that person. Or you can say a nore to somebody who did something which you didn't like, you're upset about. Or you can say a sorry to somebody who you think you messed up with, right? So every day connecting with your emotions, as well as with all the social relationships within your circle, within whoever is here as part of the community. So these were the four main things that we do. The fifth thing that I want to talk about is uh, basically give children an opportunity, especially when they become teenagers. So this is more specific to the older children as they become 14, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, to actually go for their professions by actually doing work in the real world. So these children do not go to uh, colleges, they do not get degrees, but they get what we call as work certified. And then they choose the area, they work in that area. If they like it, then they continue and kind of become professionals in that field. We have so many children, including my two children, who have done this journey, not going to college, but actually doing it in the real world. Just to give again an example, in the picture you can see Srijani. She's now 18. She's as part of Aarohi. She's 18, but she came in around 15. That time she said, I love baking. So we said, okay, do as much baking as you want to do. And she would do 7 days baking only. That was her, like her domain. And she did a lot of baking for multiple years. And now, over the last 6 to 8 months, she has been exploring the business of baking, which is very, very different from just baking. She just suddenly realized, okay, baking was something totally different. But the moment you step into doing a business out of it, that's a completely different world. And in fact, now she's getting more and more interested in business itself, not necessarily only about baking. So that's how she's evolving as an individual, and she's exploring business. The last, which is not part of the numbering, is we also work very closely with the parents. So it's not like you send the child to Aarohi. That doesn't work here. The whole family becomes part of Aarohi. There's a very close working on a day-to-day with the parents. Parents work with the child. Parents also work with other children. So all the children get exposed to so many other parents, so many other adults, and there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of gain from each other, all well-wishers of each other. So there's a lot of give and take that happens between that. That's why we call it a community. That's where the whole group comes together and we kind of explore, help, support, push, pull, challenge each other. Yeah. So that's somewhat how we do what we call as child-based education. I'll take your questions in just a minute. Just to kind of share what options we offer. as Aarohi, obviously we have a campus which is about 60 kilometers from Bangalore. So the children can be part of the campus. Typically, children come on their own when they are 8, 9, 10 or above. And younger children, if they want to be at the campus, if parents want to be, then one parents accompanies them. So, and children start with minimum 1 year and then they continue for multiple years according to the family's needs and wants. Once again, clarifying, as they go into their teen years, they can either go back to the conventional, give 10, 12, and go to a college, like how Radhika did, who's on the left side of the slide, and or you can continue your professional journey as without going to college based on your own expertise and interests, which is Skanda with his mom on the picture on the right hand side. So that's the one option that we offer at our campus. We also offer a program called Jagriti, which I think Shobita was mentioning about at the beginning, which is an intense program for parents to understand their child and understand themselves as parents. And this really opens up for us to understand and work with our children. The other interesting program that we are offering is an ongoing support program for parents, especially for parents who would like to work with their children at home. So your child is at your home, whether the child goes to school or you are doing home learning or open learning, as we like to call it, or some people call it homeschooling, unschooling, so on. And we are there to support you on a regular basis. So this is an ongoing program where the whole group keeps meeting multiple times in a week and sharing notes and doing lots of interesting and expanding the horizon of learning in many different ways. So that's Aarohi Deep program. It's an ongoing program, so anybody can join any point of time. And it's like going on. Again, it's for a minimum, is for a, actually minimum, we say 3 months, but typically the membership is for a year. So I'll quickly close with one more slide, which basically talks about what Aarohi does not do, just to clarify that. So obviously, we don't focus on conventional academic subjects. If the child wants to focus on it, we have absolutely no issue. Again, we don't prepare the child for any exams. If the child wants to give an exam, typically the child works on it on his or her own, because the core idea is to become responsible for whatever you are wanting to do. If the child needs external help, the child seeks a tutor for a specific subject. So we don't provide certification. We do what is called as work certified, where children create their own portfolios. Obviously, we don't have classes. Children learn by doing, exploring, and learning from each other. And when I say each other, doesn't mean only with other children, from actually anybody in this whole world. So everybody we say is a teacher, whomever you want to learn from. Uh, Finally, we don't have special educators. We don't even believe in special education. We believe the child is the special educator for himself or herself. The child will show us the way, which way this particular child wants to do and learn and explore this beautiful world. And yeah, finally, we don't work through discipline. So we are not outside structure, we are inside structure. Each child decides what would be my structure, how will I live my day, week, month, year. They take up the huge responsibility, but a very exciting and sweet responsibility of themselves. So they become leaders of themselves. They take their responsibility. And more than that, if they are part of Aarohi campus, then they also start taking responsibilities of the whole campus running, and it becomes a democratic environment. Yeah. So that's a little bit more specific to Aarohi, how we work. Yeah, so thank you for patiently listening to me. And yeah, we can have an open discussion now. We have about half an hour. More people can come on video, audio, we can chat, you can ask me questions, we can discuss whatever you are thinking about, whatever interests you. Yeah, so it's open to discussion. As I said, more people on video would be exciting for me to interact with you all. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Nashiva, and my child is on the spectrum. He's 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been looking for community-based education, community living type of schools and all. I don't know whether I can call it school or what. Anyways,
Sure.
so is it provide like staying for parents? What is the options? Is it like a residential area place or semi-residential place? And
Okay.
more question I have is like if I want to join next month or something like that, if I can do that, is there any option like that or June starting, March ending? Is that a curriculum based, a year curriculum based, or anytime I can come and join? What is your system actually?
No. Yeah, you can let's. Which city are you from, Nashwa?
I'm from Kerala.
Sorry,
Kerala.
Calicut. Okay, okay. Right. So, as I was saying, the way we work for younger children, yes, the parent needs to come with the child because the child would need that. Um, and as the child grows older, at some point of time, the child may not need the parent. So typically, what you would do is anything, depending on how far you stay from here. If you like Aarohi and if your child likes Aarohi and if you would like to be part of this right now, then you would come for whatever duration you like and go back home for whatever duration you like. Let's say 1 week here, 1 week there. This could be 1 month here, 1 month there. This could be a few weeks here, a few weeks there. However you want to do it. There is no hard and fast thing. It's all very open and it's open for all the families, all the children. There is no fixed thing that this is how you need to. It's as open as open can be, which is why you start at any point of time. And the idea is wherever the child is, however the child's needs are, we will work based on the child. It's as simple as that. So I don't know if I've answered all your question, but broadly, the important thing which I tell every parent and which I think Sarojini was mentioning, she's coming next week, is to come and stay with us for a week. That will give you an idea. So what we are talking today is only talking. But when you come and actually experience, then you get to get the idea, okay, so this is what at least Aarohi is, right? So you experience it for a week. If it vibes with you, if the community vibes, if the place vibes with you and your family and your child, then you can join whenever you want to. If you say, no, this is not what we're looking on, absolutely fine. So it's important that you experience. So you come for a 1 week experience, and that's when you take it forward.
Okay, can I come and visit for a day and plan, then come back after some time? Like, is there anything like that?
You can do that. You can do that, though. We call it Thursday visits. So you can come on a Thursday and do a half day visit. Though we are not very encouraging of that because that doesn't really give you too much of an idea. Just gives you more of the idea of the campus than actually the idea of the whole process. But if you still want to do that, so we have that option where you can come on a Thursday and a half day visit and see. And yeah, so I'll just post a link of our calendar. You can come check out which Thursdays are available for a day visit. The calendar will also show you which weeks are available to come and stay for a week, and you can take it from there.
Thank you. Actually, we are exploring different options.
Sure.
Come and visit every place, then decide. Once we come
Absolutely.
for some years, so that's a big change, right? So I have to visit first.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, more thoughts, more questions?
Hi, Ragnesh.
Hi.
I was going through the videos that you have posted in the app, my communities, and I also was listening to the testimonials from various children. So what I was thinking is, um, I I heard them say that they were trying out different things. They were so I think it was Vedant who said like he would like to deep dive into certain topics, and then once, I mean, he explores initially, and then he finds it interesting. He deep dives into it, and then he gets more knowledge out of it. So, what is actually driving them? Um, like I personally have not had a time in which I did not have anything to do in particular. Um, like what when they wake up on a particular day, what is driving them that they decide, okay, today I have to do something, or today I'll just take it easy, I'll just take a slack day. So what is differentiating between these two?
Um, okay, so first of all, let's not think of a day as busy day versus slack day. Again, I think that's a very adultish way of looking at it. Let's look at it in terms of children waking up and saying, "Today I want to explore this." Right now, that could be one thing that I want to do a lot. Okay, like there is a 11-year-old who wants to make some games on the computer, as in makes design some games or code some games. There is another child who is making a zip line to travel from one place to another on the zip line, right? So she is getting up every day in the morning and saying, "Today I want to design a better seat so that I can sit on it when I'm zipping from this point A point to B point." Right? So these children have whatever excites them, wherever they get the idea from, they start doing those things. Now, I'm talking about when they are thinking about one thing. But a lot of children, even up to older age, actually don't think of one thing. They think of multiple things. They would want to make the zip line also. They may want to do some acrobatics also. They may want to read some or write some poetry also. Somebody may want to do a crochet. Somebody may want to bake something. Somebody may want to, uh, I don't know, make some music. So each one has thinking what all I want to do during the day. Now, this is only the planned part, not necessarily that everything will be done with the same gusto or the slack that you were talking about. Maybe out of the 6 things I planned, 3 I did with a lot of gustos, one I did with less gusto, one I didn't do at all, one I did just touched upon and said, this is too difficult, I will not do it right now, or I don't want to do it at all, and so on. Obviously, all of this being dynamically affected by all the other people around. Somebody might say, "Chalo, we'll do this together." Then you get more excitement. Somebody might also support. He may also, or she may also go to somebody and say, "Hey, can you join in me for this?" And the person whom he or she goes to can be a child or an adult. That doesn't matter. So a lot of dynamics keeps happening, and yeah, the journey keeps going. It's not a straight line. Some days are exciting too much. Some days are shallow, as you were calling it, the slack ones, and so on. But the idea is a lot of explorations happen because the child wants to explore that. Yeah, it's totally where that idea comes to the child could be again anything that's inherently in the child. Child is drawn towards, let's say, making things or music or art or sports, or it could be exposure. I get to see other children doing it. Hey, I also want to join you. I also want to join you. Right. So that could be one thing. Like, for example, TT is a very popular game here. So a whole lot of them who would never have dreamt of playing TT get pulled into playing TT. Why? Because everybody's playing TT, right? Table tennis. So again, that's like a peer effect that happens. Plus, anyway, children of today are so exposed. Today's world, everything is on their fingertips. They see and know much more than even I know and see. And they come up with, I want to try this, I want to do this, and so there's no dearth of exposure for the children. And they're not thinking in terms of this is related to science, or this is related to linguistics, and this is related to people, and this is related to this. For them, this is exciting or interesting, and I want to explore that.
Okay, so I was thinking more from the perspective of why would I want to do that, not from the perspective of how. Um, like, I mean, let's say I see something interesting, someone really good at something. So as an adult, right, I might think that, okay, so he's quite good at that particular field, good for him. I appreciate him and I move on. I might not want to become someone like him because
Sure, sure.
uh,
But children normally don't think like that, that just because he's good, I don't want to try that. Again, I don't think that's a very child way of thinking of it. If something is interesting, they want to do it. Why that is something interesting and why something is holding them back is up to each individual. It really is not something that I can say what will draw one individual to one child to one thing. And the why part is something which is inside, which is inherent. It's like even between you and Shobita, there will be so much what she may be attracted towards, you may not be, and certain things you may be attracted and she's not. There's no why itself to it. It's just that you are attracted towards something and you may want to explore that, while she may be more interested in something else. Yeah, it's just that you're just two different individuals with some common interest and some uncommon interest in the sense between you two. And the same way with your relatives and friends circle. So I'm not so sure I have an answer to why a child will get attracted to something, but it's really up to each individual.
okay, so not why a child is attracted to a particular thing. I was saying like why a child could be attracted to anything. Like there will be a desire to excel in something, or there might not be a desire in doing something. Like
I'm not too sure, Rahul, that children work with again excelling. They work with exploring. They want to
okay,
explore something, right? They are not necessarily immediately looking at excelling. In fact, we have a slide which goes on to talk about how we move, how we have seen children moving from exposure to exploration to expertise to enterprise. Does that make sense? Yeah,
yeah,
where you move from, if you want, I can pull up that slide also. So they move from, this stage to that stage based on, you know, uh, just one more. Right, let me show you that slide. If that helps you. So exposure, exploration, then enterprise is when they can turn it into a profession. So broadly, so a lot of things will stop at exposure, a lot of things will stop at exploration. Some things will, only few things will get into expertise. And again, very few will get into actual enterprise level where you start earning out of it. Did that
understood.
did that help you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking like in your experience, uh, children generally have a tendency to expose themselves to various things in their life because they are inherently more curious than an adult. Will that is that a true statement?
No, I wouldn't say it like that. I'd say it depends on individual rather than by age.
Okay,
Some of us are just more explorers, right? Uh, some of us are not. And some of us grow into becoming an explorer. I was not an explorer. I would stay with just few things. But over a period of time working with children, I've become an explorer. Now I dive into anything and everything that a child comes up with, and I'm very excited about it. So I've kind of also transformed because of that.
that
Or,
makes sense. Yeah.
or maybe they are so joyful that they just want to express it and they're just finding avenues to
Sure.
express their joy and exploring based on that. What
Absolutely,
makes you joy?
absolutely. Yeah, but it could be one thing or it could be many things. It really depends on an individual.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajneesh.
Sure, sure.
So, if a child is curious about in learning something, so how do you help them learn or explore more about it? So, how the resources gets pulled into?
Okay. So this is an interesting question because actually the answer is we don't. We are not trying to help them. We are first of all wanting them to help themselves.
Mhm.
Them to take leadership. If a child comes and says, I want to do whatever, I want to do gardening, I'll say, okay, what do you want to do in gardening? What resources you need? Where you want to do? What do you want to plant, let's say. So I wouldn't suddenly start thinking about what should I do to help. Slowly, as the child works, as the child explores, obviously the child will be facing challenges, will be facing questions. The child will keep coming and exploring those, not just from us, from anybody and everybody in this whole world, including YouTubes and the world, right? The world is at their fingertip. And then depending on how they are going, then as a community, as a whole group, not just me as Ratnesh, but a whole group, obviously we as mentors pay more attention, but as a whole group, we are seeing how we can value add to that child. Somebody will come up with a book, somebody will come up with an idea, somebody will say, hey, we also need this, can you do this for us? So it's not just that we will bring in resources, we could bring in projects, we can bring in different ideas. You, for example, somebody is interested in, let's say, chess, and you happen to know somebody, so you will say, okay, to that child, I will connect you to that uncle or that auntie who is into chess. So you see, your idea is to just support because that child is saying, hey, I'm interested in chess. So it's not always very obviously, as the mentor team, we are constantly observing, recording, working with the child, but everybody is there to support the child in whichever way. And obviously the parents are there who are on a day-to-day basis connected, so you are knowing what the child is more looking for. So all of us are thinking, and all of us is thinking for everybody.
Right.
Right? And it's meticulously documented, kind of tracked to see, hey, where you are going. Okay, you are leaving this interest, you're moving into something else, which is absolutely fine. Okay, or you are going deeper into, and now you are needing this. Typically, children are the ones who would, say, raise their hand first in that sense and say, I need help in this. And they would not even say it to one person, they will say it to the whole community.
Right.
And who will in the community kind of connect with you is the beauty. You can be connected with anybody and take it forward.
Because our child is a very curious child and she wants to learn and she wants to explore. So
Sure. Yeah. That's the whole idea. And sparks, just fly here and there and catch fire here and there. So that just happens very organically. You will see that once you visit here. You'll experience it better.
Right. And how does that do they stay for all the work weeks, experiential weeks, which is available, or do they come in on a Monday and get back on a Friday or a Saturday?
Yeah, it depends. Again, as I said, it's very, very open. If you stay close by, you can even come daily, go back daily. If you stay a little far, let's say Bangalore, you come Monday, you go back Friday. And any week you want to be at home, you can be at home. Any weekend you want to be here, you can be here. So there's a lot of, it's all dynamically planned by the family. It's not like a fixed thing. All right. Just to give you an example, I was talking about that girl Prati who went home today. Next week is working, but she's not coming next week. She wanted to go home because somebody is coming and she doesn't want to miss them. So that's life, and that is so beautiful, right?
So since you all live there, since you all live there, so weekends also it is like they are taken care in case if they want to stay there.
Yes, because there's some children who come from far. We have children from, let's say, Delhi or Gujarat or Mumbai, so they can't go every weekend. So yeah, we work in. Then there are a weekly pattern. Oh, sorry. A term pattern of 8 to 9 weeks working and 2 weeks as home weeks. So everybody goes back to their home. So those 2 weeks, Aarohi is fully closed. And then again, 8 to 9 or 10 weeks, we work, and again like that. So that's like a pattern that we follow.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ratnesh. Looking forward to meet you next week.
Sure. Just connecting with Krupa. If you have any questions, Rupashri, yeah, Nishiba, if you have more questions, you're most welcome.
Yeah, actually, I don't have any questions. Like, I have to first visit the place. So
Yes.
probably I may get many questions there.
Yes. No, you won't get any questions here. If you come and stay with us for a week, you will stop
Okay,
having questions. You will only be
Okay.
enjoying. Because you will not come here as a parent. You will come here as another learner. And you will be
Okay.
learning things, you will be doing things just like anybody else, and then you will experience, so you will have no more questions.
Okay, okay, great.
So that is
Thank
why
you
we
so
say
much.
come and
Yeah,
experience for a week, because then
yeah,
you don't have questions, you have experienced it. Then you only have to decide, is this something that I want, and is this something my child wants, and I want to do it now. That's something that all you need to decide.
okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Rajneesh, so how do we be part of the community without being physically present in
Yeah, that's that Aarohi Deep program is what I was talking about for you.
deep?
The deep program, it's called Aarohi Deep. Okay. It's an on, so that is obviously, if you say, okay, so let my child, whether the child goes to school or the child is at home, that's something you all obviously have to decide. But the whole idea is that how do I work with my child at home, what all I can do, explore in how many different ways I can understand the child and work with the child's learning journey. So that is where the deep program comes in. Yeah. So it's an ongoing program. It's for parents. It's not for the child directly. And yeah, that gives you a lot of, you can say, thought processes of how you work with the child.
How does the child be part of the community? Uh,
Yeah,
like,
for the child to be directly part of the community, right now, the campus is the only option.
okay,
Yeah, which may not be viable for you or feasible for you right now because you are in Singapore. But that is why I'm suggesting right now you can start with the deep program and see how you engage. You both as parents engage with the child in so many different ways, and uh, and if you want to pull the child out of the school and see how she can blossom at home, doing things that she wants to do, and as in then you all as a team working at home, and then at some point of time, if you all want to be part of Aarohi at campus, then you can take that call later, whenever. Now, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, whenever.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rupa.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Ratnesh, like as a parent, I have had many challenges dealing with my son because of his impulsive behavior or this adolescence age and the typical ADHD. So how are you, kind of equipped to, because I can't expect magic happening in first week or second week. The moment he comes, he will be, very happy or a turnaround behavior. So how would you handle it?
We don't handle the, first of all, for us, there is no problem with the behavior. Right? If we start with that, there is something that needs to change with the child, then that's not child based. Then that's the change based system. Right? We are not a change based system. We are a child based system. We have to first understand the child and understand where is his energy and what is he wanting to do. And yes, the child will also start understanding slowly, slowly. It takes time. How much time it takes, I have no idea. I can't predict, because again, it differs from child to child as to how this place works and how do I align with this place. Not just as in the place, as in the physical place, but how this whole idea of me taking responsibility of my learning, my doing. How do I spend my day? How do I spend my week, month, and so on? Forget the child. It takes time for parents to understand how do we drive this journey of child being responsible for his or her own learning. So it's a journey of togetherness. It's not, as you very rightly said, it's not like there's no need of a turnaround. It's each one starts growing in their own way. We are not trying to fix anything, because there's no problem at all. Right? As I told you, to me, ADHD is a term, or so many other terms also, which are created because the system requires you to behave or perform or create results in a certain way. Now, neither are we expecting people to perform in a certain way. There's no question of results here, because each child defines what results he wants. We have no expectations. On our main gate outside the campus, the first thing that you will see is says enter without expectations. Right? So we aren't working with expectation. We aren't saying this is the result that we want to create, because we don't know what result who wants. It's up to that child to say, this is what I want to create. This is the result that I want. So yeah, there is no turnaround. There is no changing anybody. Everybody evolves in their own way. In fact, the word Aarohi means evolving. Yeah, so the very word of Aarohi is about this whole journey of each one evolving into the individual we are, not in some precast, predefined, okay, this is the perfect human being, nothing like that. Yeah,
I was
rest you
hoping
can,
to,
yeah, rest
yeah,
you can come and experience and see how that goes. Yes,
yeah. I was
absolutely.
hoping to come on the 24th, like you were suggesting me on WhatsApp. So
Mhm.
is that option still there that I could come on 24th?
Yeah, for a half-day visit. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That is still there.
The
You just,
child, I mean, need not come, or should he be coming because
yes,
he's traveling? He's not.
sorry,
He's
because
traveling. He's in Bhubaneswar and I'm in Bangalore. So I was hoping I and my husband could come.
you can come. I mean, if he's not there, obviously he can't come. You can come, but yeah, ideal would be if he comes also. So maybe you can come, and if you like, then you can
Yes,
come with him for a week. That would make
yes,
more sense.
that
Yeah,
that I will do. Thank you.
sure. Okay, anybody else? If you have a question, uh, we normally do this 5 to 6 every Saturday, and we are there every Saturday. So if you have more questions, if you want to discuss more, if some thoughts are still, bubbling in your mind, which I hope they are, and you want to talk about them, you're most welcome to join in any Saturday. Same link, 5 to 6, same timing, everything is same. So just join in and we can just chat. Right, so you're most welcome. If you have already attended the first part, the orientation, you can sign in even at 5:30 and start with the question, so that you don't have to go through the orientation if you want to not sit in through that. So yeah, first half an hour I share the presentation. The second half an hour is open for discussion. And yeah, if you want to visit for a half day, ping me on WhatsApp, or any other information you need, just ping me on WhatsApp and we can take it from there. I'm assuming all of us are connected on WhatsApp, but just in case, I'm anyway putting the number again if anybody needs that. Yeah, so we can pause for now, and thank you for joining in today. And as I said, we are there on WhatsApp. We're there to host you here, and yeah, we'll stay connected. Yeah. Okay. Then thank you.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
have a nice
Thank you.
weekend. Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, wish you the same.
Yeah.